Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on basically every single website you've ever used. We're talking about the absolute core, the skeleton that holds it all together. And that, my friends, is HTML.
So, let's just start with a really simple question. When you're browsing your favorite site, with all the cool text and images and links, what is the invisible framework that's actually holding all of that together?
Well, the answer is HTML. You can think of it just like the blueprint for a house. It tells the web browser exactly where everything goes, where to put the walls, where the windows are, where the door is. It's the fundamental structure.
Okay, to make this super simple, let's forget about code for a second. Let's use an analogy that I guarantee you understand. Just picture a web page as a sandwich. Yep, a regular old sandwich.
And you know what? This sandwich thing, it maps out perfectly. The HTML tags are your two slices of bread, right? They hold the whole thing together. Then you've got the head. Think of that as metadata, important info for the browser, but it's not the part you actually eat. And the body? That's the good stuff. That's all the delicious filling, the text, the images, everything you can actually see and click on.
All right, enough talk. Let's actually build our web page sandwich ingredient by ingredient.
So before you do anything else, a modern web page has to tell the browser what it is. It's kind of like an official announcement that says, hey browser, what you're about to read is an HTML5 document, so use all the latest modern rules to show it.
And this is the line that does it. Doc type HTML. It might look a little weird, but it's so important. Without this, browsers can get confused and go into what's called quirks mode, which can make your website look all broken. So rule number 1, always start with this.
Okay, declaration is done. Now it's time for our two slices of bread. This is the main container that's going to hold our entire web page. Literally, nothing can exist outside of it.
And that's the job of the HTML element. Think of it as the root of the entire project. Every single other piece of code, the head, the body, all your content has to live inside this one big tag.
So, inside our bread, we need a special spot for all the background information. This is stuff the browser really needs to know, but that the user doesn't actually see on the page itself. And that's where the head section comes into play. You don't see it on the page, but its effects are everywhere. You know the little title that shows up in your browser tab? That lives in the head. The code that tells your website how to look pretty? Also linked in the head. It's all the crucial behind-the-scenes stuff.
And now for the best part. The filling of our sandwich. This is everything your visitors are going to see, read, and interact with when they land on your page. The real deal. This is all taken care of by the body tag. Every single paragraph, every image, every video, and every link, if you can see it on the page, I promise you, it's inside the body.
And look at that. Here's how all those pieces click together. You can see that structure perfectly, right? The document type at the top, the main HTML container, the head holding our page title, and then the body with a simple welcome heading. Believe it or not, this is a complete, totally functional web page.
Okay, so you've seen the structure. Now let's just quickly go over the language we use to talk about it. If you know these 3 terms, you'll find understanding HTML a whole lot easier.
First up, we have an element. An element is the whole shebang. So in our example, each one, welcome, is a complete element. It's got the opening tag, the content in the middle, and that closing tag, the whole package.
A tag, on the other hand, is just the part inside the angle brackets. So H1 is the opening tag, and H1 is the closing tag. The tags are like the instructions that tell the browser what kind of content it's dealing with.
And finally, nesting. This is just a fancy word for putting elements inside other elements, kind of like those Russian nesting dolls. In our example, the title element was nested inside the head element. Getting this hierarchy right is absolutely essential for the browser to understand your page.
So, to make sure your code always works and doesn't fall apart, there are a few rules that are totally non-negotiable. Let's just run through them real quick.
Here it is, your essential cheat sheet. Number 1, always start with that doc type HTML. Then build out that core structure, the HTML, the head, and the body. Remember that most tags come in pairs, an opening one and a closing one. And finally, nest them correctly. Get these fundamentals right, and you'll have a rock-solid foundation for any web page, every single time.
And there you have it. That's the blueprint that powers the entire web. It's actually a lot simpler than most people think, right? So now that you get the basic structure, the only real question left is, what are you going to build with it?